All right. Last episode, right, we worked on prepping out a set of rims, tractor rims for Mike's Simplicity Sunstar. This episode is really just putting those beautiful brand new tires, tractor tires, these sweet tires, onto these beautiful rims that you see here. Just absolutely gorgeous. If I do say so myself, because I myself did them. And we're going to be using the hokey Amazon tire machine that I bought really cheap. And there's still some nice, some new accessories and stuff, which we'll get to later. All right, we'll get to that later. Let's get started with the video. Oh, looks cool, doesn't it? All right, we're ready. All right, so we got a couple of things we want to observe. Let me read off tire sizes, and we got to put the valves in. I'm thinking of just going with the shorter valves. It is a little easier with the longer valves, but you can run into things. And on these rims, the front rims, the valves go inside. There is more protection there. That's how they do it. It's the valve goes on the inside, and the grease fitting over here goes on the inside. These are really nice tires. So these are cleated tires. They are directional. We have to mind that. 23 by 10.5 by 12. Okay, and this is a 6-ply. So max load 2260. So that's 24 psi. Smells nice, fellas. I love the smell. Kinda. It's a little strong. This is 28 psi max. Let's see. Do they give a rating? It's a 4-ply, and this is the 16 by 6.5 by 8. So pretty nice stuff. Of course, I'd rather go with Carlisle, but that's a lot more money, and I think this will get the job done. This is very similar. I got to get new tires, so at some point for my machine. Let's get started. Let's go grab the valves. I'll just, a couple of shots of that, and then we'll get right on the tire machine. Well, here's one of the tools. I'm still trying to get more tools. This one's not very good, fellas. I see that. I get the feeling that's going to break there. I guess that it was pinned. I don't know what that's just a hole where they screw up and anyway, but let's grab this. Yeah, we'll put a little bit of juice. We'll put some more on from there, but let's see which way it goes. I don't do it often enough to remember. I think it goes that way. Oh, that's the longer one. Is that the longer one? No, hold on, wait. Is that the longer one or the short one? All right, so before I put it in, hold on. I can get it back out. It's not pulled through all the way yet. That's the longer one as opposed to the shorter one. What do you guys think? I'm thinking more the shorter one. The shorter one's going to be real short, though. The longer one, the thing is, it's going to come up taller. Let's pull the shorter one in. I don't think he's ever going to run into anything, but that's the idea. I don't think it's going to be a thing. See how it just comes right up? But what do you guys think? Let me move that out of the way. Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit shorter, but I think it'll work. All right, let me go do all of them. I'll meet you over at the tire machine in a minute. So if you're thinking about picking up a machine like this, so this has got some unique features. It's these grippers or claws. And so you want to align it by adjusting it this way. And you need to align it so that the pipe or center locator, or whatever you want to call it, will drop right in through the top as you've seen before. If you have one off, it'll cock to one side. You'll be loading up on the pipe. It won't grab properly. You'll have an issue. Anyway, let me tighten this up. I'm going to leave the pipe off because we're going to see if we can just put that tire on real quick. And so this is the shallowest area and the shortest distance. So we're going to work with this side up, which is actually the face. So all the valve and all that is down here. So we're going to see if we can work it this way and see how that works. So this should be able to drop in. And I can see it doesn't feel like it's still correct. It's a little off. So going in actually loosens it on this jammy. So let's see. Almost looks like it could come over this way a little bit more, but it's pretty close. I might want to leave it there because I tried it before. It doesn't at 100% line up. Right, now that's pretty tight. That's not going to go anywhere. Let's just put a little lube on. These ties are pretty stiff, so sometimes you can just kind of shove it right in. Yeah, she's almost there. Oh, wow, she's real tight. Oh, wow. Yeah, she's really tight. Yeah, she's not down all the way still. It's close. It didn't just pop in, so I'm going to loosen it up, and I'm going to put the bar back in. That's a little bit better. Uh-oh. There we go. It's always something. So it seems like this hole needs to be about a little bit further that way, a little bit more in. It's not quite in the right spot. Of course, that's kind of stuff you're going to get when you get these, like, you know, real knockoff Chinese machines. Oh, it's real close. Okay. I'm not using a lot of effort. Just kind of like let the machine and the tools do your job. You know, you got to use a little bit of strength, but not a lot. We'll find out. I'll just do one at a time. I do need to get that tire inflator thing. So let's see. Sometimes you got to hold it down. Yeah, we got to get it down in there. That's why, yeah, let's hold it like that. Just watch your hands. Hold on. Watch those hands. You don't want to get bit. Oh, it's close. I think it's spinning. Yeah, we're going to have to peel it in. It's close. But it's going to take little bites. Like that. Like that. Little bites. Like that. Okay? Done. I don't know what the big deal is. I mean, I think people just fight it. And it's all this, It's real easy. All right, we got to flip it around the other way. Maybe this is what people don't understand. So you got to push the tire down. I don't have my gloves on, but you got to get it down in there. You get it, the deeper you get it, the more you get it into that hole. See? It's like a hole. That's a spot. It's a relief. And it will pick up quite a bit of extra clearance that you need to get that tire on. All right, let's keep going and you'll see what I mean. And again, try not to fight it. They're designed to work a certain way, all this stuff. So I think maybe some people don't know. See it pulling in like that? I'll try to zoom in digitally. See it pulling in? Oh, there we go. Right, no problem. No effort, right? There was no effort in that. I mean, yeah, you got to have some strength, but let's grab a tire. It's in deep. Oh, it's almost there. Oh yeah, watch. See what I mean? That's how it should go on, fellas. These little tire breaker seating machines that people use, that I've noticed that people use. I need a spot to keep this. Like all my shells, maybe I should move this guy. That could probably be moved somewhere else maybe. So all of these little machines that I see, they're for like when you're doing an ATV tire in the field or something. They're not really for really putting tires on. Like that's an emergency thing. So it's going to fight me a little bit. This one will. Again, keep it out of there. It goes. It's starting to get down in there. Almost there. There we go. If we can get it down a little bit further. Yeah, it's trying to come out over there. But yeah, she's coming up over there. See, it's starting to come up over there. So sometimes people put little clamps and stuff. All right, see this clamp here? This is just what I had, but you could try a different clamp as well. But I like this one. It's going to stop it from trying to peel off. All right, and I'm going to work it around a little bit. I just had to get it past that clamp. But you can put the clamp on when you get about 3/4 of the way and you're in this condition and you can't push it down anymore. You can actually kind of get that clamp on there. It'll stop it from peeling back on you. And then you can work this down. You can also push down on this, try to get it down a little bit further, try to get it, get this bead to get more room. If you can work it down, you can. I have a big clamp. I can actually put a big clamp on this tire. The idea is to just use the leverages and tools. They sell something like this, and it won't mar your rim. Probably just like a little clamp would work too. I was just looking for some different things, like a small C clamp. Let me see how this works. I'm going to fool it a little bit more. Done. See? Done. All right, now let me get my clamp out. Let me show you this little clamp. So you kind of want something like this. See? Because you want to be able to slide it out easy, but you need to be able to grip it and get it out of your way. Now the one they have is more low profile, because that I had to lift this guy up to try to get over it. Not that's the end of the world, but, and I think this can do up to what, 16-inch rims, so it can do like a car tire. There's a lot you can do with something like this. And notice, I did not use a lot of effort. When you saw me struggling initially, it's because I didn't have this down all the way. You'll never get it. You'll be fighting it like nobody's business. But this is important. Now on this rim, they're both the same, right? These are like the bead recess area. And there's no difference here. It's just a flat tube that's been bent over and turned into a tube. In fact, it's a piece of flat steel that's rolled. I can see a weld seam here. And I probably should have been more pronounced and kind of showed you that. But there's a big, deep dish section in those other rims. This one probably doesn't need it because you have more flexibility on the bigger tires to a large degree. So that's kind of what I'm referring to. Anyway, these tires are on. Like I said, we'll get the bead seater tomorrow and see they're in the right direction. So facing forward. So we got, that's the inside and that's the inside. We'll wipe them up later. And we're going to test out that bead seater tomorrow or Sunday or Monday or something. I don't know. Let's get back to work. Let me get these up. So it's very strong and very stiff, but this one doesn't have the big deep dish, but it does have that lip area. So if you were to, it's actually moving, the whole tire is moving that way, and it's giving us more clearance, more room, less stretch to fight against. So that's what we're looking for. But you can see in there, and so we've got it from just about here, clamp in place, just about there, and we'll work it over that way now. That's it. All right, let me disassemble it, wipe everything down. I'll see you guys in a bit. I can see a space here a little bit, so what we'll do is we'll push it down. Oh, it's popping. It'll pop. So it's just the two fronts. There it goes. All right, yeah, she's almost there. She basically pulled in. You might see a little bit at first. We'll check them tomorrow. Let me fill them up with air. This one's not a problem. So these can go on. I can actually put them on the machine, get them up off the floor. Let me finish it up. 24 pounds. And if I want, maybe I'll put them on. If not, well, I might want to cut my lawn. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. All right. All right, so as you can see, technique and tools makes all the difference, and you got to add to that a little bit of experience. I mean, I have some experience. I also learned some of this years ago, and also in high school. I can do tires with just tools on the ground. At least I could. Probably not anymore. I wouldn't want to. I did it a few years ago with my friend Steve, truck tires, and you don't ever want to do that. Like my back is too shot. I'm getting too old for all of that. And like I said, I don't really have the weight or the strength anymore to really do a lot of this stuff, health issues and age. And I'm not struggling with any of this. So that's a lot of it. So as you can see, I showed you one of the new tools, I think in the last episode, that silver pry bar. I've used other kinds of prying things. You want a good pry bars. You want stuff that you can polish the ends, so you're not going to mar everything up and cut into new tires or whatever. The more polished, the smoother they are, no dings. Try to keep that stuff for the tires. So tire spoons, and I'll probably get another one or something a little bit different. I have some extensions now to help me move things, pipe extensions. I showed you that clamp that I used, and also you can see here the clamp that I was talking about. And then there's on Amazon, there's some other nice tools that you can get for these machines. Now, my machine I showed you has got those little clampy things on the bottom. I do want to convert it as well to like a standard post and beam style manual. And then you can get some of this other really cool stuff. I'll just put it up quick while I'm chatting. All of this really can make the job much easier. And whether it's an older tire, like one of the fellas that wrote in on one of the last episodes with just the Amazon tire. Nice guy. He wrote in because he'd been doing it forever, retired. He said, when you're really stuck like that, he says, we've used gasoline or gasoline and oil mix, like I often show you guys. I've even used it on tires. I'm like, brilliant. Like, I don't know why I didn't think of that. So instead of using the soap, you slop on. And you could just use like old oil, recycled oil, because I've got tons of oil here, recycled oil and used oil. So when it's really beat, and because they're stuck and it doesn't want to move, and the rubber is not pliable anymore, it's not elastic. And the new rubber is elastic, but it's stiff. So all of these tricks and things, should I just bring it up the block? And I don't worry. If you like me and you like to do things yourself, plus I don't have to bring it up the block. And I think I mentioned in the last episode when I ripped off those tires, or maybe it was the episode before, right? You're not going to know what it looks like inside those rims, and what a disaster it is. And then you're goobering on all this tire seal, and you're like, I don't understand, these are new tires. They came out good. I didn't need to goober on anything. I don't know, Mike, are they still holding air? I do want to get some of the tire goober. It helps in a pinch. I mean, if you don't want to take everything off and clean it. But if you get the rim clean on the inside, a light coat of primer, and you use the flapper discs like I showed you. I mean, in this case here, the rims were pretty nasty inside, but yet I got them to the point where they're beautiful. They look great, and they seal up. Everything seals up. We don't have to jimmy around with chemicals and stuff. Not that I'm a fan. I always say better living through chemistry. I always say. But we didn't have to do any of that. We made it nice for Mike. Big Mike, what's up? Thanks for that job. Big Mike was awesome. We're going to do this on my Sunstar soon. And he's been helping me out with the Sunstar and the channel. So again, big shout out to him. And the next episode, all right, coming up, we're going to mount the the last two tires that wouldn't take air, those little jammies. We need an air cannon for that, an air cannon for that, to do that. And I bought one. I bought Amazon's cheapest piece of crap. Yay, we got to fix it. We got to go through it, and then we're going to test it. That's going to be the next episode on Archer's Garage.